I'm Lauren, an OpenSciEd teacher and facilitator, here to talk through Lesson 8 of the Matter Cycling Unit. In this lesson, students put together everything that we've figured out so far. So let's get started. First, let's think about how we got here. In Lesson 7, we looked at the food nutrition labels and gathered evidence to support the sun as the source of energy. We figured out that the water and the carbon dioxide inputs don't provide energy for us as humans, but the glucose does. So the plant must be getting energy from the light and using this energy so it can do chemical reactions to make sugar. In this lesson, we'll put everything together to explain where plants are getting food from. Here's our lesson at a glance. Lesson 2 is a 2-day lesson that includes a midpoint assessment. There's no major preparation other than handouts, and students will not need devices. So let's take a look at our learning snapshot for this lesson. So in this 2-day lesson, on the first day, we start by thinking back to our initial phenomenon with the sugar in the maple tree and all of the food molecules that we saw were in plants. We make a gotta have it checklist of the key ideas we figured out so far in lesson 1 through 7, and then revise our class consensus model. We're showing with specific detail and supporting evidence that plants make their own food molecules through this process. This work on day 1 helps to set the students up for day 2, where they're going to work individually on a midpoint assessment. From all of this work, from the last few lessons that we put together here, we're able to update our class consensus model to explain those details of photosynthesis with supporting evidence. So we again review and figure out that plants are using energy from the sun to make sugars from carbon dioxide and water, that plants release oxygen as an additional output in this process, and that the process is called photosynthesis. Also, that during this process, energy is transferred from the sun to the plant, from that sunlight into the plant. All plants make their own food molecules through this process, and this process of photosynthesis occurs in the chloroplasts of the plant cells. So let's take a look at a few key moments of this lesson. In part 2, we create a gotta have it checklist. The students go back and they revisit everything we've done to identify key ideas in order to answer our question, where are plants getting food molecules from? It's really helpful to focus the students on the questions we're trying to explain. So where are they getting these food molecules from? The teacher guide provides prompt directions that you can use with your students, but this is a time that I really like to use large group whiteboards with my kids. So I have the students brainstorm a list in groups, and then we work together from their small groups to make one final version together as a class that they record in their notebook. This is a way for me to do a quick formative assessment. I can see where kids are thinking, if there's anything we're missing. And then when we put it together into one document, I can ensure that the key ideas we need are getting on that list. In part 5, which is on day 2, the students are taking a midpoint assessment. So this midpoint assessment includes both a model and a written explanation, as well as a real-life scenario with data. So there's an assessment feedback provided, and there's also rubric suggestions included. But again, as with any assessment, be sure to modify the assessment to meet the needs of your students. Some of the things that we've done is we've broken the assessment into 2 parts. We've used the model as a group activity versus their explanation and the real life scenario with the data analysis as an individual activity. There's also always the opportunity to add in sentence starters for explanations or consider how you might want to change this or chunk it for your students. There are no materials to manage in this lesson other than handouts to make or consideration as to how you want to manage the gotta have it checklist procedure or to modify the assessment. We also don't earn any new words in this lesson. In lesson 8, we do reference the consensus model that we already started And we also revise our model based on the Gotta Have It checklist. So these definitely need to be saved for future lessons. And again, these are all building on the models that we've created up until this point. So we're putting everything together here. Lesson 8 marks the end of our first lesson set. So the students are putting together everything they know about how photosynthesis is occurring and where it's occurring, and connecting that back. When we move on to lesson 7, we'll return to our anchor and we'll see how well our model explains it. We'll get to test it out. So we'll see you in the next video for lesson 9.